Guess who's on time? Guess who's on time? Well, barely. Barely on time. Barely on time. And we are switching the soundtrack because just a little bit of soundtrack. We don't need it to be loud. Just something in the background. Okay. So today, ladies and gentlemen, well, gentlemen, we are starting out with, well, apparently, during the Game Awards last week, which I missed out on because it was too late for me, the makers of Apex Legends and Titanfall 1 and 2, well, there was a trailer for their new game, which is a hero shooter, a class-based hero shooter. Actually, we turn the music off, it's annoying me. And so far haven't heard anything good about it, which I think is funny. Also, I wouldn't expect anything else from another hero shooter, which, by the way, I think we get one every year. You know, a new live service hero shooter, and yeah, that's literally it. A new live service hero shooter every year, at least one. And the last one that was kind of successful was Marvel Rivals. I played it for about 6 weeks, I think, before I stopped, because it's a hero shooter and I don't actually care. I only played it because hot chicks in body tight suits, but that doesn't keep me playing a game, especially not a game that's a live service. Why would I? No, I kind of do look forward to the next Tomb Raider game, because that seems to be having a really hot Lara Croft, which I like. Game Awards, yes, Game Awards. There were Game Awards. Over a week ago. Others reacted to it. I didn't, because too late, and then I missed out on it. And but we are now going to watch the trailer for High Guard. New hero shooter coming next year, when I remember correctly. Let's watch it.
Into lands uncharted and dangers untold.
So we are going with a kind of realistic, kind of comic-y graphic style. You know, just like Marvel Rivals. Well, to be fair, Apex Legends had the same graphic style, I think. I haven't played that game in years. And of course, the mental illness haircut. And we are already 2 complaints and we are 9 seconds in. We aren't starting out good here.
I venture without fear.
Why does this remind me of the failed MOBA from Epic Games? Why? I think it's the architecture.
And ride without rest.
Why the hell did that turn out to be so loud all of a sudden? Have you ever heard of audio mixing? And yes, that's coming from me. What the f... Yeah, way too loud. Way too loud. That's freaking... Jeez. I'm sorry, guys. That's literally not me, it's them. So, you can ride on mounts and you can use weapons. Okay. That's fine, I guess. And here you have the lines that show you that you're fast.
For coin or for cause, I fight to the end.
Wild Light Entertainment, never heard of them. They were the ones that made Apex Legends and Titanfall? What? From the makers of Apex Legends, Titanfall.
Here we go. Bring in the
Wait. Comes a new breed of shooter. No? How is this a new breed? Have you seen anything so far that we haven't seen before? No. Maybe the riding on mounts and fighting off the backs? Maybe. But even that is just vehicles from which you shoot from. Yeah, that's not new. You have melee? Oh, yeah, that's not new. I haven't seen anything new in here so far.
Bring in the heat.
Isn't that what one of the heroes in Overwatch did? Smashing the ground with a hammer and then a shockwave goes up? I think so, right? Also, graphically, this is absolutely... this is Marvel Rivals. To me, this looks just like Marvel Rivals.
Your light belongs to me.
To be fair, this looks nice. The environment looks nice, but that's not hard these days. I mean, you really have to mess up to for today, bring out the game and the environments don't look good.
Moving in for the attack.
Shield breaker forming.
The ice wall. We have one character in Overwatch that does that, and I think also one character that either does ice walls or some other form of walls in Marvel Rivals. So we have already two other games that can make the walls. A new breed of shooters, by the way. To be fair, she looks super hot.
Strike fast. Strike fast.
Crap. I wanted to show the zero facial expressions while fighting. Zero. And just like everyone that watched this trailer was like, because this is uninspired completely.
Siege tower coming in.
This is kind of like a MOBA. To me it seems to be a mix of a MOBA, kind of, you know, attacking a base, and a hero shooter. This feels weird. It feels weird to me.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
I am the coming storm.
That's literally far away from Overwatch or one of the characters in Marvel Rivals that, you know, throws stuff while flying. I think there are several of them. Actually, yeah, there are several. It's totally unique. And the new breed of shooters, yes.
I am a warden, and this is my oath. Warden, and this.
How they make the most boring character their main focus for the trailer. I rather want to know about this guy or any of the hot chicks than this guy. This guy is just a random dude from the streets that has mental illness. At least he looks like that. Well, he has a chin, so he looks better than those people. But, you know, you get what I mean. But yeah, this is so uninspired. So boring. I've seen nothing in this that would make me want to play this game. Not even the hot chicks, because we haven't seen much of them.
Is my oath.
Hi, God game. Let's see what. Isn't there no official website? Oh my God! Why do you give me Steam? Give me the official website. It hasn't any. Okay. Why not? Why is there not? Do I have to go on Google? Yes, we now Google. There, the website. Why was that so hard? DuckDuckGo, you stupid piece of trash. Wishlist, yeah, better not. Yeah, that was the hot blonde chick that got the sword. Watch trailer. I bet it's yeah, it's the same shit. Man, this website is trash. Why are all websites these days so trash? We don't even get any information here. Any. Hi God game. We have to find anything. Why? Literally. This is it. That is. Yeah. It seems like everyone hates this, right? We don't watch it again. Let's look at the comments. Welcome back, Concord. Yes, sir. A second Concord has hit the market. 7 days ago, 6 days ago, 7 days ago. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? I'm amazed. The comments are still unlocked. Yeah. ChatGPT generate a hero shooter with fantasy elements. Yeah. We have been listening closely to what our fans wanted to see, but instead we made this. Absolutely. By the way, I 100% believe that the studio that made this game didn't want to make this game. They were forced by, well, they are owned by Electronic Arts as far as I remember. So Electronic Arts went to them and said, hero shooter. And now we have this shit. This thing will, by the way, flop hard. Now, will I play this when it comes out? Yes, but only for the stream. I do one stream and then that's it. It's all going according to plan. Oh. The comments are better than the trailer. No, it's not even close. Oh, he even... What? Oh, he even the corporate black guy haircut. Oh, yeah. Finally, a Concord killer. What a goddamn minute. Hi equals over, guard equals watch. I have... Yes, it's just like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. It's the same. We got Concord 2 before Titanfall 3, yeah. And Half-Life 3. It's concording time. Developed in secret. I really wish these guys would have kept it a secret. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure this never got leaked because no one gave a damn about it. Yes. This was outdated when the developer first imagined it. They didn't. It was the corpus. The corpus did. Comes a new breed of shooter. Well, just another hero shooter, but still a new breed. Yeah. This game will make a Concordian amount of dollars. Thus, a new genre was born, named Concord-like. Oh, I can see this actually becoming a thing. Calling games Concord-like. Titanfall fans on self-deletion watch, yeah. GPT-generated hero shooter, yeah. Here before the servers shut down 6 months after release. Concord never changes. Yes, yeah. We all agree this was shit. This was complete bullshit. Total and utter bullshit. No one likes this. Congratulations. You created another flop. Another one. Another one bites the dust. Dum. I wouldn't be surprised if the studio will shut down after this. Oh my god. Yeah, I would look there too. So, we go for my watch later. Why does this happen again? This shit happened twice now, and I don't know how to untangle this. To not make this a thing. I hate this. Sorry about that. We have watched this already. We've watched it published. So DSB crashes out and rages over Black Ops 7. Yeah, we are watching this because this is number one going to be fun. Number one, he's right.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Even if I decide to stop streaming, all the content on my YouTube channel is an archive. It is for posterity purposes. You know, those playthroughs can stay up for as long as YouTube allows that to be an archive. I could continue to monetize that content. Doesn't mean I'm going to make a lot of money on it. To be honest, you know, the old videos just don't get a lot of views because they don't hit the YouTube algorithm anymore.
Of course, that's how it works.
So you'd have to know to search. You know, you'd have to know to search for, DSP Gaming Uncharted 4 playthrough to find it. You would never just get it as a recommendation on YouTube. So, in regards to that, you know, I probably would leave it live. I don't know why I would close it. Or, you know, if let's say I pass away, right? Well, obviously then ownership would default to my wife. And then if she decides to sell it or do whatever, you know, that's her prerogative. But I mean, you know, let's hope that that's a long, long, long way down the road. I feel like I'm hitting my stride right now at the ripe age of 43. I'm at my best right now.
Same age. Oh god.
I mean, I'm actually in better physical shape now than I've been the entire time I've been a YouTuber, like no lie. So, better late than never, I guess, right? I can see this mentally challenged person is here back again, guys, on the YouTube side. Just ignore him. This guy's been doing this for like 2 weeks straight. He's here every stream spamming like 50 sock accounts. It's ridiculous. Guy has no life at all. Here it is.
Based.
Space 2 multiplayer gameplay. 15 years old. Part 1, just to give you guys an example, Part 1 of my Dead Space 2 multiplayer gameplay had 115,000 views.
Wow.
It was a different time, man. It was a different time. People liked me. There was not mass slander about me all over the internet. People actually liked my gameplay. They thought that it was good shit. Yeah, like that was 2011. Damn. Early 2011. Pretty intense.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that was a bad idea. But what can we watch? Oh, right. Curse AI doctors are selling scams as health advice. A lot of cases like that. A lot of cases. Not only, you know, AI doctors. Please don't die on me. Please load properly.
They're now viral doctors on Instagram with nearly 1 million followers, handing out health advice like this woman. But here's the catch. She's not even a doctor or even a real person. She's a full-on AI influencer and people are actually buying it. And to make things even worse, we think these massive accounts with over 1 million followers and millions of views online are stealing people's identities to sell shady products online. Because
who could have guessed? Who could have guessed that that would happen with AI? When it already happened before AI. Who could have guessed?
after going down this rabbit hole, I don't think the woman in the profile picture is even affiliated with this account. I'm slowly starting to realize we're cooked. AI influencers are now all over the place, and clearly we have to check in on our parents and our grandparents because someone's funding this. And it's not us, it's not our generation, it's the older generation, unfortunately. Because the other day I came across this doctor on Instagram with 1 million followers, scrubs on, stethoscope around her neck, giving out health advice. And as I mentioned earlier, she's not a doctor, nor even a person. Her bio literally says, follow for health secrets they don't teach in schools. And honestly, I kind of want the health tips they actually teach in schools. Because if you spent any time on the health...
The thing is, what they don't teach... When I remember correctly, I wasn't teach any health stuff in school. Like literally in school. Except for brushing your teeth properly. Which my mother didn't care about. But that's a whole nother story. But aside of that, yeah, I don't remember anything.
Outside of Instagram, it is just loaded with grifters and AI influencers. And speaking of both, meet Wellness Maddie, a AI health influencer who really doesn't exist. And the wild part is, she's not even close to being the only one.
Hyper-realistic videos generated by artificial intelligence, they appear more and more online. It's a disturbing new trend that's emerging. Deep fake doctors. Clips like the ones you're seeing now
Yeah.
mimic professionals in the medical field and in some cases use real doctors' faces, all to sell questionable products or promote questionable, unproven advice.
So Wellness AI Maddie is a AI generated persona. Every picture, every talking head video, every soothing voice is just cobbled together with tools like Midjourney, HeyGen, and 11 Labs. And even her DMs are automated through what I think is ManyChat. And
Who could have guessed? Ooh. Why don't the OnlyFans girls do that with the chat? So they don't have to pay people. I bet some of them already do.
to the untrained eye, she looks somewhat like a real doctor, but it's just an algorithm spitting out medical sounding advice. She even has different faces and AI health professionals that appear here on her Instagram page, and she posts a lot, like twice a day. So that's a lot of generated health content hitting people's discovery pages. And she's monetized. She's pushing this Rosabella Moringa, a supplement plastered all over her profile. Because right in the middle of the bio, you're dragged to this Amazon listing for her product. And it seems
Of course it's going to Amazon. By the way, for the ones who don't know, Amazon is full of crap. Full of crap. If you look for anything on Amazon, you've basically only find crap. There's almost no genuine products there anymore. I would say at least half of the products there are just fundamentally the same. That's a funny thing. They are selling the same product under different brand names, but there aren't even brand names on the product. It's all crap. It's all a scam.
like she has a lot of people buying this because she has her page set up to where if you comment the word Moringa, they DM you the link so you can buy it. So you have a video like this with, to me at least, is a fairly obvious AI person talking.
Are you not hungry for breakfast in the morning? That's high cortisol. Do you wake up at 3 a.m. having to pee?
The movement is not natural on this side compared to this. It doesn't match.
That's high cortisol. You've probably heard.
Yeah, the microphone isn't moving at all. That's completely unnatural.
Of cortisol before, but stay with me. This is important. Exceeded cortisol levels are directly linked to stress. Here's my recommendation. Start taking Moringa.
It might take a second to register that it's AI, but after a second, it becomes pretty clear. But again, someone who isn't super internet literate probably won't recognize this clip as AI. And before I go any further, I do want to preface and say, from what I can tell, there's nothing wrong with taking real Moringa leaf powder, and it definitely could be considered healthy for you. But, and the big but is, number one, why are you taking it and what brand are you buying? Because that matters a lot. Because Moringa is considered a supplement, and the supplement industry can really be the Wild West. And this...
It is, completely. No regulations whatsoever. For the most part.
Rosabella Moringa, it markets itself like it's legit, made in FDA registered facility, GMO free, all natural, but none of that means that it's FDA approved. Like the product itself, from what I can tell, has never been evaluated by regulators. So when Wellness Maddie is in...
Is anyone surprised here? I am not. I'm not surprised at all. That's the usual.
Your feed talking like she has 10 years of medical experience, what she's really doing is tricking you into buying some questionable supplement with a sketchy claim. Because made in an FDA registered facility is definitely not the same as FDA approved. And that's one side of the problem.
Yeah.
Because the other side of the problem is the Google reviews seem to be very alarming, to put it lightly. And these are some recent reviews. Buyer aware, I ordered the product and before I finished taking what I had ordered, they sent a notice that they were charging me for another order. I didn't sign up for a subscription, nor did I plan on ordering more. Now I can't get them to refund what they charged my card for they haven't responded to my request.
Of course not. They are scammers. Why wouldn't you know? Oh, right, because you're an idiot. If I would go and buy a supplement, I don't order that online. I go buy it locally. Why? Because that's safer. You are way less likely to be scammed in person. If you go to a pharmacy, for example. The pharmacy will not, completely scam you because they get in trouble for that. These people won't. Because you can't get a hold of them at all. Hello, Kali. Hope you're doing good.
Terrible way to conduct business. Fake subscriptions. Again, after many attempts to contact Rosabella, they already know me and the subscription is fraud. I never make any subscription to Rosabella and they know that and still charging my credit card. They are scams. Run. Plus, you can buy the same product from a different place and cheaper and tipper. Plus, no scam fake subscription. They are stealing customers is because they are not true. And I will put this review everywhere to protect innocent people. They know me because I haven't been sent they many mail and phone calls. Okay, that was pretty broken at the end there. Here we have
Very, very broken. What we are watching is cursed AI doctors are selling scams as health advice. Which is not surprising at all.
another one. Scam. Do not buy this product. You think that you're doing a one-time purchase and they keep sending it to you. Billing you an obnoxious monthly fee for a product does not work and they ignore your directives to cancel and stop billing your account. I am going through my bank to stop this unethical company from ever billing me again. Save yourself the trouble and do not buy from them. Subscription scam. Be mindful that your purchase is a subscription, not a bottle or two. They will send you an overpriced bottle every month and bill your credit card. If you check out as a guest, you can't log in to cancel the subscription. And their customer service department will do nothing to help you cancel, so you'll have to dispute or reject the charges with your credit card. Been trying to cancel for 2 months. That's crazy. So obviously, when you have AI influencers promoting products, there's no real backlash to a person for promoting a scam. That is a...
And that's why you buy locally. Like I said, buy locally. Don't be retarded. Don't fall for scams online.
A big problem when it comes to AI influencers, because let's say, for example, if I straight up promote a scam to you guys, I'm going to have 300 YouTube videos made on me for promoting a scam.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I, like many other creators, have empathy, and we're actually grateful that we're put in a position by you guys. So the goal is to never scam you guys, because that would just be a shitty thing to do. But the problem is, an AI influencer isn't really the same because, you know, it's an anonymous person behind it. So they just don't have the same accountability. Now, obviously, I can't say this is a scam as I haven't tried it myself, but the reviews are not looking good. So I would be extremely careful buying anything recommended by an AI influencer, especially an AI doctor, making it seem like a real doctor. And this is not the only type of content they're making. They're also making like this style of video where they're trying to like scare people into buying their supplement.
Most people don't know this, but these 3 foods tragically damage your body from the inside out. Number 1, tuna. Number 2,
The movement of the mouth and, you know, the sound, they don't really match, right? Am only I seeing that?
cow's milk. Number 3, black coffee. There's one natural plant that's been used for centuries in Africa and Asia, but almost nobody talks about it here in the USA. It's called moringa.
See, this is where it's starting to get even more dystopian. She's using multiple different styles of engaging videos. I showed a couple clips already of generated people that are obviously made to look like experts, but there's also videos created to look like someone is stitching them. So here's an AI stitching another AI who looks to be some like health professional in some high-end studio.
Of course.
I don't know who this motherfucker is, but he just taught me more than doctors ever did in my life.
The best way to detox your gut after 30 years of eating junk food, it's called moringa.
It's getting...
No, it's called fasting for a couple of days and only drinking water. Maybe with some salt. There. That's how you get rid of everything that's bad in your intestines. And then you start eating good food. Not, oh, healthy food. No, good food. Because good food is healthy.
Really dystopian out here, guys. This is wild. And there's even like UGC style content, like videos designed to look like personal diary entries. Things like, hey, celebrity plastic surgeon of 21 years here. I want to tell you guys what I tell my patients. Except it's just like some AI dude.
5 things women should never put in their bodies from a celebrity plastic surgeon of 21 years.
The beard line of the face here, that looks completely fake. That alone makes me not believe that this is true. Also, the neck here is way thicker than his neck here. And are they supposed to be the same person? Because they aren't. They kind of... The eyebrows are the same. but the rest, no. And also he stands out. Why is the bed back here so huge? It's basically the same size as this bed, which makes no sense when it comes to perspective. Xiao versus Ming. Yeah. Oh, and look at the roofing. The roofing here. This tile doesn't have the lines that it should have. They are completely unaligned. Makes no sense. The lights make no sense on. Yeah, this is completely fake. You can tell if you actually look.
Here's moringa powder.
Yeah, every video on this page is just an ad, but because it doesn't seem like an ad, people believe this account. And because she uses the whole comment to get a link thing, we can see that a lot of people are apparently buying from this account, or at least wanting to go check out the product. But one of her TikToks has over 22 million views in just 1 week. That's a lot of people being exposed to a very questionable product.
Yeah.
It's one thing when AI influencers push sneakers and makeup, but pretending to be a doctor, I feel like this is just moving into the danger zone. Like, this isn't just some like bad marketing. This is potential medical misinformation packaged as expertise coming from experts that don't even exist, and people are buying it on Instagram, especially where the audience is older and less likely to catch the AI glitches. So she thrives there. Wellness Maddie is just the tip of the iceberg though, because right now there's some really popular influencers on Instagram that aren't even real people. You have accounts like Lil Michaela, for example, who has 2.5 million followers.
Yeah, you can.
That aren't even real people. You have accounts like Lil Michaela, for.
Yeah, you can tell that's not a real person. The hair doesn't looks completely fake. Why is that so blurry here? The hand has only 3 fingers. That makes no sense. Oh yeah, the face and the clothing here, that doesn't align. Why is the clothing washed out like that? Makes no sense. This here is, you know, what is that even? This the first thing I thought when I saw this picture was a tech demo of Nvidia from the 2000s. I think they had the tech demo of a girl that looked like that. That's what it reminds me of.
For example, who has 2.5 million followers, and she actually landed brand deals with both Prada and Dior. And then you have an account called Ludo Magulo, who's built over 7 million.
Oh yeah, this is completely fake. Completely. How can I tell the face? The face is completely fake, and the hair looks very obviously not real. Completely. Yeah, this looks. This is quality that I expect on corn sites on the internet, where they sell you, you know, pre-rendered corn comics. That's what this reminds me of, quality-wise.
Followers and was literally featured in Vogue Brazil. And then you have.
And yes, I know how that stuff looks like. I've been on the internet for over 20 years. No, 20 years. About 20 years. 21 years. About that, yeah.
Emma from Japan, a pink-haired AI avatar who appeared.
Yeah. Do you see the hairline? It wouldn't be. No, she's tilted to the side slightly, so it makes no sense that the hair is straight down like that. It makes no sense. And what is this? I didn't even realize this was there. Yeah, this makes no. This thing here, this pinkish thing, it makes no sense. This is weird. This is completely weird.
in Paris Fashion Week and partnered with Porsche and IKEA. So these AI influencers are getting brand deals, and that's the so-called safer side of AI influencing because it's fashion, not medical advice. They're fake, yes, but they're mostly just pushing clothes and aesthetics, so not that bad. I still think it's really odd to feel influenced by a bot, but the sad truth is this is probably just here.
Looking at some Robert Tussi? No, we don't. We are looking at cursed AI doctors selling scams as health advice. The Robert Tussi is just part of it.
Here to stay, and that's not even the dark side of this trend.
33 years of poop flushing Victoria's Secret models. Rubbing castor oil on your boobs will turn them from droopy to perky. Moringa powder helps, and you can...
A doctor wouldn't say boobs. A real doctor wouldn't say boobs. Because that's unprofessional. He would say breast. Or even chest.
Find it on Amazon.
Because CBS News investigated and found dozens of deepfake doctors on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook with videos racking up over tens of millions of views. One real doctor, Joe Burley, woke up to find his face cloned on a video selling products that he never endorsed, which is just insane. I saw something similar happen to CoffeeZilla where someone was using AI to have him endorse some crypto scam, and they were running ads targeting his fan base, which is also crazy. Thankfully, it was his fan base though, because people obviously are going to be way more skeptical watching him expose a bunch of scams. Suddenly he's promoting some crypto rug pull. It just doesn't add up. So I don't think too many people got
Funback squeezables. That one is good. Also, I say it now. If you ever see me promoting crypto, that's not real. If you see me promoting NFTs, that's not real. That's not me. That's either AI or I have been compromised. And someone is literally pointing a gun at me. Just so you know. I would never support anything like that.
Scam there. Overall, just a wild situation though. But in this instance, with the doctor, the AI didn't even use his real voice. But I guess it was convincing enough that people believed it.
CBS News found dozens of deepfake doctor videos shared on social media, and altogether they had tens of millions of views.
Jeez.
So we spoke to Dr. Joel.
Imagine the money they make by scamming people. You already bought £50,000 worth of crypto from my advice, Viet. Oh no.
Burvell. Earlier this year, someone created a deepfake video of him to sell a product.
No.
Take a look.
It looked like me. It didn't sound like me, but it was promoting a product that I'd never promoted in the past in a voice that wasn't mine.
Yeah. I guess this could easily be a nightmare scenario. Fake doctors, they just show up online and start spreading miracle cure claims. People start buying into it, and sometimes they end up with products that are completely useless at best and harmful at worst. Then real doctors actually lose credibility because...
Hope it doesn't do anything. It's just a sugar pill or water. Worst case, you're literally dying.
The line between advice and nonsense keeps getting harder to see. I mean, I said it in the beginning of this video, but I'll say it again. The health advice you want to get is the stuff they actually teach you in schools, not the stuff you see on Instagram. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to both. I mean, there have been doctors who have offered me pills that I should absolutely not have that thankfully I had the knowledge to say no to after some like very basic surgeries being peddled some extremely addictive painkillers. But that's like a whole separate problem. Just be careful of AI and just in general grifters, because if someone's trying to sell you some miracle cure, often it's too good to be true. And I mentioned this earlier.
It always is. Always remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it is.
Here. But as if the situation couldn't get worse, because while I was trying to figure out if this person in the profile picture was real or not, after doing a little bit of reverse image searching, I found someone's Reddit account who's very active and posts about her life on there. And from what I can tell, it does not look like she's a doctor, nor does she give any medical advice, nor does she talk about running a massive Instagram account or moringa powder at all. Because if you look at this Instagram account, clearly they're obsessed with moringa powder. So you would think that her personal Reddit would mention it at least. So to me, it kind of looks like whoever's running this account found this woman's picture off of Reddit and just stole it, as I can't find any affiliation from this Instagram account to a real doctor.
Who could have guessed that they would do something like that? Oh. Of course they steal people's photos and then use them. I mean, that's literally just like a dude going online looking for bikini photos of a chick and rubbing one out. That's the same. And then he saves it to do it again. You know?
Only this woman on Reddit. I also see that the Instagram account was made less than a year ago and gained over 500,000 followers in the first month. So who knows, just like the videos are created by bots, a lot of the followers could easily be bots as well. So when I'm talking about Wellness Maddie here in this video, I don't think I'm talking about the woman in this photo. We're not sure if this person is even aware of it yet, but we have reached out to this person as we believe that she's being impersonated. Another massive red flag is I haven't seen a single video on her account of this woman that's in the profile picture. And as I mentioned earlier, it's also pretty clear that this was taken from Reddit. Obviously, I can't say anything for certain, but it's safe to say we can draw our own conclusions here. If the woman does get back to me with a definitive answer, I will pin it in the comments of this video though. But at the end of the day, Wellness Maddie is probably just a preview of what's coming, unfortunately. Like, she's just kind of like a proof of concept for what AI grifters are going to look like in the next 5 years. Just a fake doctor who never sleeps, never gets tired, never messes up their brand deals, and can pump out endless medical advice all the time. It's gonna get crazy here. This is probably one of the more dystopian segments of influencer culture that I've reviewed in quite a while. But after I came across it, I felt like I just had to make a video on it because this is pretty alarming. So yeah. If your doctor on Instagram looks a little bit too good to be true, they probably are. So please question everything. And other than that, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.
Today's video, I wanted to start.
They're now viral.
And now we look at the comments. He hasn't posted anything. Yeah. He hasn't posted anything, and that was 2 months ago. Yeah. Yeah, looks bad. Now, can I... Oh, God. No. Can I... So, can I delete this? Delete group? Oh, crap. What did I even delete? Close tab? It's a tab? Is it just... Okay. Man, I don't even know what that function was. I don't even know. No clue whatsoever. Man. Yeah, we are watching this now. Interview with Embark CEO on how Arc Raiders is defying the industry odds. I think this is going to be great. Did you watch the old the Total War Warhammer 40k trailer? No. I have no interest in that game. I actually bought Total War Warhammer 1. And I played it maybe 100 hours, and then it's not my kind of game. It's just not my kind of game. That's sadly how it is. Jesus. By the way,
but someone needs to dare to say what I think is uncomfortable.
Oh, what I wanted to say is I really love Arc Raiders. It's the I said it yesterday when I did the late Arc Raiders stream. I really love this game. I didn't have this much fun in a multiplayer game. I don't know, in 5 years, maybe 10. It's amazing. It's so good. It's so much fun. I wonder if I have a special kind of autism to enjoy Total War. You mean if people have a special autism that needed to enjoy that? Not really. Not really. I don't think so. For that, the game is too successful. To be quite frank here, way too successful.
That's my job. That's how I look at myself. I'm the guy that needs to point out the things that are uncomfortable. I can maybe guide people towards a direction, but ultimately they're the ones that are going to have to figure it out, right? If you look at the total amount of time or even money that has been spent on our creators, a game that would have been in development at a larger scale publisher for that amount of time would have cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, wow. Okay. For how long did they develop it? And how much did it cost? I hope he answers those questions.
You know, we're not even near that.
Good for them.
Hello and welcome to the Game Business Show with me, Christopher Tring. Back in 2018, a handful of creators and leaders from Electronic Arts, many of whom have worked on the Battlefield franchise, left to form a new studio called Embark, which is now owned by Nexon. This new team would go on to release online free-to-play shooter The Finals in 2023, which saw 20 million players in its first month. That game has had its ups and downs and ups again, but now...
Yeah, I really didn't like The Finals. I hated the character designs, because I just hated them. They were so unappealing. Now, the character design in Arc Raiders is better, but not by a lot. Thankfully, there are no fat people. At least that. But for example, you can't make a busty chick or a super buff dude, which I think is sad. But hey, you know, it is what it is. A couple of days ago, I found out that the women in the game actually have an ass, which I like. That made it into my end of season review video. Which might be why it's not doing so well.
Embark is about to release its second game, the extraction shooter Arc Raiders, which is generating a lot of pre-release hype. It's very high on the Steam wishlist count. It's got hundreds of thousands of players in their technical tests. Now, Arc Raiders actually started development before the finals, and it's had a long journey to release. It was very much a cooperative game to begin with, and now it's a sort of player versus player extraction shooter. Now, to talk about the new game, launching in the current market, the fate of the industry, the finals.
When did this come out? 1 month ago? So even before the game came out. I would guess.
Making video games in a new way. I am joined by the founder and CEO of Embark, Patrick Soderlund. Hello, Patrick. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
The last time I spoke to you, and it would have been a long time ago now, you were still running studios at Electronic Arts. And so it feels strange to me to be speaking to you straight after a Battlefield launch, and we're not here to talk about Battlefield.
We can. Played a lot of it, so.
You played a lot of Battlefield 6. I haven't played it yet. I mean, I played a little bit of the test in the summer.
I played, I don't know, probably 30, 40 hours of it.
Oh, really? Wow. You don't have that Stockholm syndrome for the...
Well, yeah, no, I don't either. But no, I just thought it looked good, and I wanted to try it and play it and see. You know, my skills may not be what they once were, but I'm okay.
Yeah. Same. My gamer skills have gone down dramatically because I'm just getting old. I'm just getting old. That's also why I don't enjoy PvP anymore, unless I can prepare for the fight and stuff like that. I'm more an ambush fighter than being able to fight ambushes, if you get what I mean. Being ambushed.
Does it feel funny not to someone else to take over and take away your baby, basically?
Well, yeah, that was a decision that I made myself. So from that perspective, it's fine. I'm happy for the fact that the game is good. I mean, it is a good game without a doubt. I think that it's a very complete package that they've made. I know a lot of people have worked very hard to kind of resurrect and make this comeback for the brand. So for me, it's, of course I'm happy. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the fact that something that you know, was one of the key reasons why I started in this industry a very long time ago gets to survive and gets to thrive. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. Well, we obviously talk about your game, but actually before we get to Arc Raiders, your actual first game was the finals, which is an interesting story because you had this.
You only have little moments of skills, not at all consistent anymore. Yeah, same. Little bursts of fast reactions. Yeah. When before it was all the time. Yeah, same. I remember when I was actually kind of skillful in Blacklight Retribution. I was one of the guys, if you put me in the lobby with new players, I would destroy them. Bad players and new players, I would destroy them. But the moment I actually face good players, I'm getting destroyed. I was literally in the middle. I might get some, you know, kills on good players, but that would be rare. Actually, good players, I had no chance, basically. But that was fine. I knew my plays. I knew that I was good enough to, you know, get 30 plus, 20 plus, 30 plus kills in one match. When, you know, I am the best in the match. Duh. But I also knew that, you know, when one of the guys that comes in that is actually really good at the game, you know, from a mechanical standpoint and stuff like that. I'm just not making it. No, I can be high in, you know, the rankings, but I will not top.
I remember it. You had this huge big reveal and launch sort of at the back end of 2023.
Yeah.
Then things fell away quite fast, but you persisted with it. What was the, did you always believe in it? Was there ever any doubt?
The finals was a game that I didn't think that we would ever build, to be honest.
Oh.
When I and the other founders left EA, and you know what we previously spoke about, the Battlefield brand and other brands as well, I think we kind of had a hunger to create something different, something that wasn't, you know, an FPS or a game where you shoot other people necessarily in the same way. And we decided that, you know, well, that's when we started building on Arc Raiders and what was then Arc Raiders. But then obviously, you know, there's a reason why we built these types of games for so many years, many of us. And I think we kind of got an itch to go and, you know, explore that segment again. And I remember telling some of the individuals who were working on it that, listen, we won't go into this space unless we can come with something that can serve up and have a meaningful innovation, and that brings something new and fresh to the market.
Oh, thank God. That was the right decision. Because if you just build something and it's just whatever, the players know. The players know. That's why Path of Exile 1 and 2 are so good. Even if to be fair, this season of Path of Exile 2, I played one day so far because the areas are just too big. I played the game for 10 hours on stream, and I didn't even made it through the second act. I'm just too slow for that game, or the game is just too big. And with the game, I mean the areas, the maps, which is really not good.
Otherwise, why bother? We're not going to go and try and build, you know, a game that's already out there and try and do it better or our version of it. That makes no sense. We wanted to build something that brought something new. So that's and then we had a long, you know, multiple conversations around what could that be, how would it be executed, everything, and that eventually led to the finals. We also knew that we wanted to try and maximize the amount of players playing the game. And being a relatively small studio, we felt like free to play is a business model that could make sense as long as we try and implement a version of free to play that's fair, that is just towards the players, and that we don't take every angle to monetize them, but it's built on kind of a fair, trusting relationship towards our paying and playing customers. Whether you pay or play or just play, it doesn't really matter.
To me, this seems like kind of the opposite approach of War Thunder. As someone that has about 1,300 hours in War Thunder, yeah, this is the opposite approach of War Thunder. Thank you. Very much. Thank you very much. War Thunder hates its player base. It feels like it, yes. It feels like it. When I see how long I take to get anything done there, yeah. Yeah, it feels like it. Pay to suffer, yeah. Yeah. That's how it feels. That's why I play War Thunder basically only on Fridays when I play with you guys. That's when I play War Thunder. Aside of that, maybe I play a little bit when I have a 200% research bonus and it's running out before Friday. Yeah. It's like the dominant old female in a relationship. Oh yeah. You never want that. I know what I'm talking about. That was my mother. I have seen how she treated my basically stepfather, so yeah. Predator Thunder. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we launched the game. We were surprised at how many people played it, to be honest. We had over 20 million downloads very quickly, and people came to play the game. So I think that we had obviously created something that people had an interest in playing. That was obvious. We mission complete on that aspect. But then I remember it so well. We were all away during Christmas. I remember I was on a trip somewhere and very addicted to my phone and reading all the data that was basically hourly. We saw revenue numbers, player numbers. We saw everything coming in, on it. So I was watching my phone constantly during the break. And then January 7th, I remember, was the day when kind of everything started declining. And declining rapidly to a large extent. We were completely fine then, and we were.
I think when I followed the conversation correctly, I've already. Yes, almost 7 minutes in, and I've took so many breaks. I think we are still at the finals, and yes, that game kind of died very quickly. War Thunder seems to do everything to make you feel like you need to pay to get anywhere. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. 100%. I agree totally with you, Matty. 100%.
We thought that we were, this is, that we've created a monster. And then it took about a month, and then people started doing something else. They stopped playing the game to a large extent, and we lost massive players. The player numbers went down very quickly, and we came back and started thinking, what's happened? Has something else launched? And it took us a while to fully understand why that was. I think we got to a place where it was evident that there wasn't enough content in the game. We didn't do a good job enough onboarding players. We didn't do a good enough job explaining the game modes. We didn't. I mean, we had a problem with our menu and UI HUD, everything. And then I think what was evident also for us was there's no quick fix. There's nothing that we can do. There's not one thing that is wrong that will make this fix. That fix.
I started playing the game. I think I played it 2024. I think I don't even remember when. I played it for. I overall maybe played 6 hours of the finals, combined over all my sessions. And I just stopped because it's not fun. To me, the game is just not fun. Which has a lot of reasons. One was that I didn't like the universe, the aesthetics, especially this character's aesthetics. And it absolutely makes no sense that you can be a fat dude and be athletic like a gymnast. Makes no sense to me.
That creates a solution that then all the players are back. That wasn't the case. We quickly realized that wasn't the case. So we had to be very methodical about it. We had to go back and talk to the players as best we could, mine all the data, and then data is great, and it can be your best friend, but it can also be your worst enemy, because it's what you do with the data that dictates the outcome. And
100%.
Everyone talks about data, but what people should be talking about is actually what to do with data, and how to analyze data, and what decisions you make on something that is inherently creative and a piece of entertainment, right? So we had to learn how to do that our way, and it took time, but and we tried many things. We thought that we were lacking a game mode, and we had to fix that. So then we added something that we thought was awesome, the terminal attack game mode. We loved it, and I was thinking, this is it. Now everyone's going to come back, and everyone, most people didn't like it.
Oh, no.
So okay, now what? What do we do now? So that was kind of the constant loop that we had to go through in order to understand, to get to a place where we felt like we made progress. And then we did make progress. I think we were, by the people that stuck to us and still played, which there were still a lot of them. They could see what we were trying to accomplish. I think they applauded the effort, and then we slowly started seeing more and more players.
Yeah, but a tiny core of audience that sees your effort doesn't keep your company running. That's a problem.
Kind of either come back or come in and try the game, and then our retention mechanics were better, and got better over time. And now for the last, I would say, 6 months, we've been on a steady growth trajectory again, and we're growing the franchise. We're
nice.
We're seeing, and the game is profitable, which is a good thing, and we feel good about it. So we're sitting here planning, not months ahead, but years ahead of what this game can become and what to do with it. So I know that's probably a relatively unusual story. A lot of games we've seen come out and then go through the same thing, and unfortunately, they cease to exist, especially in the free-to-play market. So I'm a little bit surprised that we managed to make the changes that we did, and that we got to a place that's not now much better. Doesn't mean that it will last forever, but it means that we've done something right.
Well, is there anything from that you're able to take?
By the way, Marvel. Let's look at Marvel Rivals. I want to show you something. SteamDB. It's not even in here. Marvel Rivals. Where's the player count? Shots. They're around 1/6 of the maximum player numbers. They have fallen off drastically. It came out, everyone was hyped because the game was good and the characters looked good, especially the woman. And now no one cares anymore. Fundamentally, no one cares anymore. I mean, sure, 130,000 people last 24 hours. That's good. Right now, 64,000. No, 46,000. Sorry, I said that in the German way. That's still good. But, you know, 644,000 and 130,000. They are very different numbers. Marble Rift Bore, I have no idea what you mean by that. I just wanted to show that even Marvel Rivals has lost massive players. Massive. Doesn't mean it's a bad game. Doesn't mean it's not successful. It's boring. You can argue that, yes. To you, that's 100% you thing, yes. It's just Overwatch, but Marvel, right? So yeah, whatever. I only played it for the hot chicks, literally, and that's why I stopped playing it.
Into Arc Raiders that you learn?
No, of course, a ton. Just launching with.
Do you feel like Battlefield 6 fell back a bit too? Of course it did. People bought it, played it, and a lot of them already got bored because it's just Battlefield. And yes, I just said just Battlefield because that's what it is. There's a reason for that.
With more content, more depth. It's not necessarily about having more than 3, 4, 5, or 7. I mean, it's not the amount of maps necessarily. It's how you utilize the content. It's the depth.
Yeah.
What do people do? You know, the first thing you have to understand is when you play the game, the second to second, you know, if you don't nail that, there's no game. You know, so then you talk about, you know, traditionally talk about what happens every minute in the game. You need to nail that too. Those things you can't negotiate unless you have those figured out. No one is going to want to play the game. I think that for both Arc Raiders and for the finals, those two, to a large extent, we figured out.
Good.
You know, then you go into hour by hour, and then, you know, day by day, and then maybe week by week, month by month. That's where the problem starts, and you need to really make sure that you have things for players to do, things for players to accomplish, things for that you have an ever-evolving game that feels like, you know, you want to come back to.
They have that in Arc Raiders with the cred. You can farm cred and unlock stuff with it, you know. Battle Pass thingy. Then they have events. Like at the moment we have the Christmas event going. With Cold Snap. That, you know, gives a new weather condition to maps. Yeah, it's getting cold and you can literally freeze to death. But on those Cold Snap maps, you can harvest. You not only get better loot, you can harvest a plant, which you can use. You can sell it, of course, or you use it for the unlock thingy. Where you can get rewards like blueprints. I don't know what's at the very end of it, which will be, by the way, after the Project Karen went out and people have reset their accounts, which I also do, just for doing it at least once, because I want to see how it is, you know. And thankfully they have increased the drop rate of blueprints massively. Yesterday I played for maybe 2 hours and I found, I think, 4 or 5 blueprints, of which I think I only had 1. You look like Lego piece 28125. Thank you. So they have that in Arc Raiders, and it's working out, I think, okay. At least okay. You have things you can unlock, things you can progress, and that's even completely random. You don't even have to focus on it, which is nice. And then you have the game loop that for me is so good. I love to loot. I love the looting more than anything else. Looting. That was also the number one thing that I liked in Escape from Tarkov, the looting. Anything else was just like, yeah, whatever. Give me, let me loot. That's the most fun thing for me.
That punishes you enough, but not too much, right? That is rewarding, yet not too rewarding, and that feels fair, yet sometimes unfair. And that's the balance you have to thread, right? And as a developer, it's I'm not saying that we're going to get it right 100% for our creators, but I think that the learnings that we've had has taught us a lot. And I also know that in the events or cases where we don't get it right, I think that we're going to be much quicker to jump on those problems and cure them. Or try to cure them.
Well, that's the. I mean, I was going to ask this later, but that's actually the biggest thing of a live service online game is that you can start with. You can do the big numbers at the start. We've seen that happen many times over the last year. I mean, we've also seen games like Concord and other things fall over, but we've seen lots of games start very strongly. But the hard bit is keeping them, particularly when you're in a massive...
You will never keep all. Never. That's impossible. People jump into a new thing, and then they just get bored after a couple of weeks because they now have seen it all and then they want to go and do something else. And then you have people that stay longer, which will never be as many people as you have at your maximum. Where all the people came in for, oh, it's something new. That's just normal. That's also why I can't understand that people are crying that Arc Raiders is dying. It's not. It's adjusting. Of course there are now less people playing on a daily basis because they have basically seen everything that's there so far. And now they are settled in. So they don't play as much. But that doesn't even mean that the players are all gone. I can guarantee you a lot of players are gone because they played the game, they are like, okay, it's not for me. Or I don't want to play it until, a certain thing happened. A thing gets implemented. For example, people that only want PvP, or people that only want PvE. If you stop playing the game because, oh, it doesn't have a PvE mode. Yeah, sure, stop playing, yeah. The game is not for you, literally. Literally, they said that they had the game was only PvE and it was boring. And I can completely see it because even I get sometimes bored because I don't participate in PvP unless I get attacked. And even when I get attacked, a lot of times I just die because I get ambushed. And how do you defend an ambush if you, well, it's an ambush. It's meant to kill you, basically instantly. So there is so much fighting. It's very simple. Now, do I hate the PvP in the game that I can get involved to? No. I think that's one reason why it's so interesting to play. And I'm not a PvP player at all. At all. I'm there for the looting, the PvE, and meeting people, having fun with them. The PvP is completely not on my list for this game. It's something that I want, but it's something that I would miss if it wouldn't be in the game at all, because the game would go boring immediately. At this moment, whenever I meet a person in game, there's a 50-50 chance that they will just shoot me. And I like that is there, because it keeps the game exciting. it keeps it exciting meeting other people in the game, because you never know. If it would be PvE only, there's no PvE, there is no excitement of running into people. It's just, yeah, whatever, yeah. You run that way, he runs this way, yeah, no one cares. But now, there's a possibility that he might be aggressive. And you have to figure that out very fast. I ran into people on accident, and we went just, whoa, friendly. And yeah, that's it. We just go our way. Or you just get ambushed. It can all happen. Can all happen. And that's why it's so exciting.
The saturated online space where people have come from somewhere. They've come from, I don't know, Helldivers or Call of Duty, whatever the game is. They've come to you from somewhere else, and now you're going to have to. They're going to go back at some point, and that's or potentially go back at some point, which I guess is the really difficult thing about this space that you're in.
Yeah, we actually, it's funny that, man, we talk about that. We talked about respecting players' time and the fact that they've chosen to come to our game to try it, and our job is to make sure that they feel like that was worth the time, and if they do, they may stick around. but we talk about respecting players' time a lot in the studio, and understanding that there are so many other things out there that are great that they can choose to play instead of what we have, unless we do a good enough job.
You've gone with the premium model with Arcade.
The thing is, I would say so far, whenever I played Arc Raiders, I never felt like my time was wasted. I would say. Now, yeah, I would say my time never was wasted. It was either, I got stuff done, either actively or passively, or I had a memorable experience, even if I got ambushed and killed. I remember some of the times I got killed and I got completely triggered and stuff like that. Yeah, it just happens. But that's also exciting to me. That's why I like the game so much.
I don't know. I think you're planning to do free to play to begin with. What was the thinking behind the shift in business model from the finals to Arc Raiders?
There were many aspects of that. I think other games coming to market with success, Helldivers was one of them. We looked at that. We looked at the construct of Arc Raiders, and at the same time, we were faced with a declining business on the finals. So many things, I think, led to that decision. But the front and center was the type of game that we were trying to build, and we felt like if you build a free-to-play game, you have to have an economically viable way to make that game stay alive. As a developer, that is what it is. We can't just make free games that are 100% free, because people here need to, get paid and they have families and homes and things so we can't.
Exactly, and that's a thing a lot of players miss out. Well, a lot of players. A lot of stupid people forget that people have to pay their fucking bills. They forget that. And by the way, they already have lowered the prices for their cosmetics once. I don't remember on how much. And they also refunded people that already bought cosmetics for the, for the part they would have saved. They refunded them, which I think is great. That's really good for customers.
So for us, we felt like, but it's also a game thing. It puts pressure on the game to. The finals is pretty simple. It was, we just, you can choose to pay if you want to, and all you pay for are cosmetics and battle passes, basically. There's no way for you to to get better, paying anything to get better. Our job is to make sure that we have a lot of things in there that people feel like they want to spend $1 on or $5 on or $10 on, and if they do, good for us. If they don't, they can still play the game and have a good time. Our creators, we felt, had a deeper construct than that, and the kind of cosmetics, a business model based purely on cosmetics and battle pass, we didn't feel suited that game at that point in time. So it was a creative decision that then also was formed, informed by market conditions and what we were trying to, and then obviously our own results with the finals. So
yeah,
it was multiple things that led to that.
We've talked about this before, Art Ray.
Interesting. They did market research and went, yeah, we should ask for money. Interesting.
Raiders was revealed, was it in 2021? It was the game that was supposed to be before the finals, but you decided it wasn't right. I think you said it wasn't fun. I mean, how did you come to that kind of brutal realization, I guess it must have been?
Unfortunately, we should have come to that conclusion sooner or earlier. I think I was the one that just said, listen, guys, it's not working. It's not fun enough. We relied on a game where the kind of loop, the compulsion loop of the game was so dependent on deep innovations within artificial intelligence, both in reinforcement learning, machine learning, and other aspects. And we thought that we could build a whole game around that experience. You would go in and you would have amazing moments, and you would be like, yep, we nailed it, high five. And then you played 4 hours straight that were, just not fun. And some of them were even painfully bad because the encounters weren't good enough. You had a problem getting players to collaborate properly, etc. And you'll hear this from some of the key individuals here in the studio, but I personally was after this PvP idea a couple of months into the development. I just said, I believe this game, there's a game here that could be more fun if it was a PvE game. I didn't talk about the extraction elements of our creators that came later. But we wanted to let the team run.
So it wasn't an extraction shooter from the beginning, which is interesting. Very interesting that they put that in at an basically afterthought. Good decision though, because the extraction thing is amazingly good. It adds another layer of but actually skill, because you have to know when to extract, where to extract, how to extract, and to do it safely without dying. That's basically 4 skills that you have. Yeah, I like it.
On with this idea because there was so much innovation in it, and that we believe that we could figure it out. But at some point, you have to make a decision, and it's one thing to try a week, a month, even a year. You can try, and it wasn't a lack of trying. The dev team really tried, and we wanted to make this work, but we just, it wasn't there, and then we had the discussion. Now what are we going to do? I think there was multiple people. I think the majority of the leadership team came to the same conclusion that, guys, sorry, it's not working. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And then what do? Then you have to make a very difficult decision of, if we continue with this, in what shape or form should we continue? And so we sat down and we had a bunch of conversation, and I think we all loved the universe that we've created. We felt very...
Even I like it. Now, I don't like all the parts of it because they don't make logical sense to me. Like, why is Speranza so diverse? Let's say it that way. Why? And also, where is it? I think it would be in the south of America. And I mean, the USA. The US of A. But that can explain it, yeah?
Good about having created this kind of retro sci-fi kind of world that has always felt right to us. I know that it's maybe not for everyone, but we love it. We love the idea of something that feels retro yet, you know, sci-fi.
I like it too. I mean, there is also a reason why I like old sci-fi movies better than modern sci-fi movies. Modern sci-fi movies are so clean. They're so clean, so and also uninspired. I think most modern sci-fi movies are uninspired. They all look the same. Have you? Am I the only one that's seeing that modern sci-fi movies all look the same? It's boring.
Feels, and obviously with it just feels right to us, right? It's that simple.
Yeah.
And then we just said, okay, this world and IP deserves a better game than what we're currently building. What does that look like? And at the same time, I remember Alex Grundahl, who came into the project, who was the executive producer that I worked with. He was on Battlefield before. I worked with him many years. We managed to hire him in, and I remember one of the first days I spoke to him and said, listen, we have a lot of work to do and there's changes that needs to happen. And I can share with you what I think, but I'll put that aside and I'll let you try and figure this out yourself. And he and I think the team ran with that and came back with a game design that was more in line with what players are playing now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not as detailed as we ended up being at the end, but I think that was for me it's you have to make a decision on what to do with something like this. You can put all the data up in the world and you can compare to other games, but at the end of the day, it's a decision that comes from your gut.
Yeah.
You know, does it feel right? Does this feel like a game that we can build and pull it off so that we actually cure the problem?
Only because the numbers say people should like it doesn't mean people will like it. It has to feel good. Very important.
Problems that we believe the previous version of the game had, and do we believe that there's a big enough market out there for players, to like this? So I remember we played a ton of extraction games, and everything from Tarkov to The Hunt. I mean, I played so much of those games, and we thought that, okay, this is fun. There's something here. I know it's not for everyone, but we believe that maybe if we make something that's a little bit more accessible than what's out there, and something that's a little bit lighter in how it feels, maybe that could be a way to attract players into something like this. And that's kind of how we started.
It's interesting because I know that I read a comment from you about, because I know you sort of experimenting with AI tech, you mentioned it there, but that feeling of your gut of knowing this isn't right, that's not something you can, that requires a human, it requires experience, I guess, and just it's not something that you can train.
Yeah, thank God that we can't replace ourselves with AI just yet. That's good. And again, it's not about me, to be honest. It's obviously a conscious team effort and team decision, but someone needs to dare to say, what I think is uncomfortable, and that's my job. That's how I look at myself.
And that's why Concord failed. They weren't allowed to say that it's not good, and that's why it failed. And that's why our creators succeeded, because they were allowed to say, yeah, this doesn't feel good. It's that simple. It's literally that simple.
I'm the guy that needs to point out the things that are uncomfortable, and then I can maybe guide people towards a direction, but ultimately they're the ones that are going to have to figure it out, right?
Yeah. I suspect a lot of my audience might want to know this question, answer to this question, because the numbers on Arc Raiders, I mean, your latest playtest is really strong. Your technical test was really strong. The buzz around it is very impressive. You seem to get people angry with you for not letting them play more, which is a very, very good problem to have. But it's so competitive, you know, not just in the extraction shooter space where there's things like Marathon coming up and stuff, but you're coming up between Call of Duty, Battlefield and Call of Duty, but you're getting real cut for it. You're getting real attention. What's the secret?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I had this conversation with another friend in the industry the other day who told me that, listen, I'm surprised that you guys have been able to come from, you know, start a new studio and then make first the finals, which is a new IP that I think, at least from our perspective, is deemed successful. And then you build Arc Raiders, which, knock on wood, looks like we're going to do at least okay with. And then he asked the questions, how come? What are you guys doing? And it's difficult, right? And I thought about it, and I couldn't give him a good answer. I just said, but I think it comes down to just not being complacent enough to try and believe that we can build something without making a meaningful impact or innovation. We have to bring something to the
Concord. Again, Concord. They didn't do any of this. I think Concord is a perfect example where the developers don't care about the players or having anything meaningful in it, or thinking they have something meaningful, but it's not.
The market so that people pay attention. We just can't fall under the notion that building more of what's already out there is the right formula. For us, if we build a game...
Earlier, we have seen the trailer for, how is it called? When something with God. The new game from the makers of Apex Legends and Titanfall. And that's just another hero shooter. No one cares about it. Everyone calls it the Concord 2 for a good reason. That thing will fail hard. So hard. Now I will play it because it's free to play. I will play it for one stream and then never touch it again.
We want to try and bring meaningful change to that market and to try and give people, again, we spoke about it before, a reason to come and try our game. And if we've done a good enough job, maybe they'll stick around. But in order for them to break away from what they're already playing, there needs to be a factor of attraction there for players to come and say, listen, I may go over there. And I think we managed to get to that with the finals for sure. If you would have asked me a couple of years ago, I would have said, listen, finals is a slam dunk. I mean, love that game. Again, I've played a lot of it, and I still play it, but I was more concerned about Arc Raiders and whether that would find its market. So when we launched the technical test,
I can understand
TT2, we call it, which was in earlier in the spring, we were just blown away by how many people just came and played it, and it became.
When that came out, I just heard a new extraction shooter, and I was basically immediately like, yeah, I don't care. And I don't like extraction shooters. I played Escape from Tarkov and I was like, yeah, I don't care. And I've seen it and I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I can try it out when I get a free weekend or something like that. And then the server slam happened. And I immediately fell in love with the game. It wasn't even a question. I played one round and I was like, this is good. This is good. Of course, also because everyone was friendly. But I was immediately, yeah, this is good. This is good. And then I played for the entire weekend, and I was like, this is good. This is good. And then, you know, game came out, and the rest is history. I love that game. And I haven't said that about a new game I played in ages, but I love this game. It's, even with all the criticism even I have, I still love the game. It's great.
We obviously tried our best to market it, but it became one of these things that just spread virally. It's like, you know, someone talks to someone and then you have to go try this.
Yep.
And so we were humbled by that and felt like, wow, this is a surprise. But I think it's testament to the work that the team has done with the IP, the work that the team has done with building something that is complicated yet accessible, something that is easy to play yet has a lot of gameplay depth. I think I still get terrified by the Ark, enemies we played yesterday, and I, we were screaming, Alex and I, in the room as we were being chased by one of the robots, a leaper that we deliberately engaged with and later suffered for it.
Regretted it.
But so I think yeah, I think that's where it is.
How do you approach? I'm interested. Have you sort of approached development any differently to how you did when you were at EA?
Yeah,
I bet they did 100%. We all know EA.
I mean, for sure. I mean, that's, I think, the foundation of Embark was, if we're going to try and build a studio, we have to, we can't compete with the likes of EA and Activision and other large companies because we don't have the same financial means to do that. We then realized that we had to get to a place where, we spoke about it. Basically, we have to go back and take a look at how you develop a video game. Where do you start? How do you, what aspects of development are there? Whether that's content creation, coding, audio, and we kind of try to be dumb enough to challenge ourselves, not only to make things faster, but to completely change the methodology of what it means to be a game developer for us.
Did you hear that? The most important thing here to take away for me is they wanted to challenge themselves. When was the last time you heard a game developer saying something like that? I think if you take anything away from this interview, then that they wanted to challenge themselves to create something. And they did. It was a challenge for them, a massive challenge. And they succeeded, mostly. I wouldn't say completely, but mostly. They succeeded, yes. I completely agree here, yeah. With me. I completely agree with myself. They challenged themselves, they went through it, and they mostly succeeded. This is great.
And
the same, that basically the same what the studio behind Expedition 33 did. They went out and challenged themselves to make a great game. And they did.
And that was the start of Embark. We spent most of our time in the beginning building tools and pipelines and workflows to be able to, I remember Rob, who runs our development or content creation here department. him and I had a conversation, and I remember feeling a little bit dumb because I said to him, "Listen, I want us to be 10 times faster in content creation so that we can keep up with these Asian live game developers who churn out content. We have to be competitive." And he said, "Okay, I hear you," and we went away, and then we spoke a couple of days later, and I said, "Listen, sorry for telling you, for talking. I know that I was probably a little bit offensive. I'm not suggesting that you're inefficient, but I said, unfortunately, I think what I told you is incorrect. I think that we need to aim for 100 times faster, not 10 times faster."
Wow.
And I said to, then I said,
"That's a lot.
Bear with me. I'll try and explain why." And I felt like if our goal is to do it 10 times faster, we're going to go into trying to fix conventional development methods, and that may lead to us being twice as fast if we do a good enough job. If you ask for 100 times faster,
when you ask for 100 times faster, you have to change the way you do develop a game. Not adjust, change.
You have to take what you know and basically throw that away, and then start really thinking about what type of modifications and transformation do we need to go through in order to completely change the way that we approach this. So that's when we came into procedurally generated content, to using AI and machine learning to some extent in even the content creation pipelines, to what types of tools we build, to
by the way, the AI and machine learning for the behavior of the arc is awesome. It's perfect. I have seen videos of arcs behaving differently already. So they might have cranked up the arcs because they have lowered the behavior of the arcs for the release to make them easier. And we might have already seen unleashing of the arcs actual potential, which is awesome. I look forward to this.
And realizing that a lot of these tools that we've been working with for so long they stem from software that's 25 to 30 years old.
Oh,
so we may have to build some of these things that are some of the programs that we're using today. We may have to write our own in order to get to where we want to.
Wow.
And today, I wouldn't say that we're 100 times faster than any other studio. That would be arrogant, of course. But I do believe that what we've done has created a way to build products and games and update them that I don't think many others can compete with. And
that's great.
It's because we took that approach. So if you come
awesome.
here, you'll have to learn a bunch of tools that only exist here. You have to go at things in a way that I think we're the only ones doing. And
imagine Ember becoming the new Blizzard, like the original Blizzard, where everyone wants to go to because they are so awesome at what they are doing. At this point, I would be surprised.
And this studio is roughly 300 people, and we have 2 relatively large games in development. One is in a live environment. And by the way, we've updated the finals every single week since the time we launched it, and we will continue to update it every single week. Sometimes we have smaller updates, sometimes we're bigger, but the game updates every week. The players know it. Every Wednesday or Thursday, the game will have an update. We will use a similar approach to our creators. We will continuously update the game and make sure that people get a new experience and better experience on an ongoing basis. We also have other games here that we are developing that are other new IPs that we haven't shown yet. And I think to do that with a medium-sized studio, I would say, we're not a small studio by any means.
No.
I think is due to the fact that we've made these investments early on.
I've got so many things to follow up there. One of them is cool. Arc Raiders, though. You talk about going faster, but you've given that game time. You haven't rushed that game out, have you? I mean, I guess those two things aren't necessarily contradicting each other, but it seems to be that you want to go faster, but you're not willing to just rush.
No, but to us, it's not.
But being faster and doing something doesn't mean you have to rush the entire project. If it's faster to do, but the behavior of an enemy, the AI that it uses to move around, attack, whatever it does in the game, that doesn't mean the entire game gets finished faster. It's just that one thing is done faster. You can just, improve more, which is, I think, even more important.
About rushing things or about time. It's about doing the right thing at the right time. If you look at the total amount of time or even money that has been spent on our creators, it's not a game that would have been in development at a larger scale publisher for that amount of time would have cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. We're not even near that. We haven't spent even close to that on our creators. Have we spent more than we wanted to? Probably. That's always the case. But I don't think people should confuse what we're trying to accomplish for rushing things or doing them quickly necessarily. It's more about efficiency. And also, to some extent, we have had this conversation internally. It's also about building games is an inherently creative work. It's like writing a song or painting a picture. It's creating a movie. And what we also spoke earlier about is to try and remove things that are boring and tedious, and things that so people can spend more time creating the stuff that's fun and the things that have that are player facing, really player facing, instead of and to automate a lot of tedious, boring work means that you can spend time on the creative side of building games instead. I think that's, to me and to us, more what it's about than a game needs to launch at a certain point in time.
Yeah. Well, I know some of those big studios, including the ones that the one you worked at, I guess if your game needed to come out faster, you would just put more people on it, right? Whereas I guess you don't have that capability really, but also maybe that's not the best way of doing it.
No, we can't. But again, that's sometimes that can help, and that can have a major impact on your velocity, and that could really pay off. But it is a formula that long term will go against putting quality games in the market. That's just how it works. I mean, sometimes you need to do it, and then you do it. But it's long term. It's not a sustainable formula if you want to build high quality products. I don't think it is.
You did mention there that you can't compete with EA, you can't compete with Activision, yet you are coming out in between Battlefield and Call of Duty.
No, and doing at least better than Call of Duty, which, to be fair, is not surprising. That the new Call of Duty seems to be complete trash, which also is not surprising. It's Call of Duty.
Insanity.
But you're holding your own so far, so it doesn't feel like a Titanfall 2 situation, which sort of got squeezed out. I mean, that was a lot shorter time spent.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, listen, I know that people may look at that and say, what the hell are they doing? We have spent a lot of time looking at this from multiple aspects and angles, and for right or wrong, we've decided that we believe that the game can launch there. We look at this long term. This is the start of a long-term journey.
Yes, true.
It needs to start somewhere.
They planned for 10 years live service. So I'm looking forward to this.
And we just hope that we can get enough players interested and attracted to the game.
I had another quick question to the question you asked earlier. You're working on other projects as well, so that's. Are they all online games? Because I'm very mindful of how high risk that market has become.
It is, yeah. That I think is just ingrained in our DNA. That doesn't mean that they're online necessarily.
The live service and multiplayer area for gaming is very high risk these days. Very, very high risk. Because there are so many games coming out and try to compete with older, more established games where they have a fixed player base. It's hard to compete. Even if you're successful, like Marvel Rivals, you will lose a lot of players if, well, the game is not good enough, not fun enough. That's the more important thing, not fun enough. And I think that's what made Marvel Rivals beat so many players. And of course, if the game is just trash like Concord, even if it's, to be fair, I have never played Concord. Basically no one did. But looking at the game was unappealing. So why would I even play it? No one did.
Games the same way as the finals or Arc Raiders. That they one of the concepts we have is very has a I would say has a lot more edge to it than the finals or Arc Raiders does. The other one maybe is a little bit more conventional, but yeah.
You took this bold step of leaving the relative safety of EA to create Embark. And this was back in 2018 when things were, the industry was in a slightly happier place than it is now. I'm interested, would you take the same risk today, looking at where the industry is at the moment?
Obviously, it's very easy to say today, right? At the time, my journey at EA, was done for sure, and I would have taken the same decision for sure. And it wasn't so much about Embark; it was more about what I wanted to try and what I wanted to do. I will look at the years that I did as EA as incredibly rewarding and fun, and I got to work with some incredible people there and work on some incredible products, and I learned a ton at EA, and obviously you were a far more public person then, and decisions sometimes you made you heard about them online and everything, but that's a part of that job, and what people need to understand, that just because you work at EA or Activision doesn't mean that you're better or worse. These people that work there try as much as anyone working at Embark or other place to build incredible products, and to a large extent they do. So from my perspective, it was more that I'd been there for 12 years. I never envisioned working at a large company like that for such a long time. So that says something about EA, I think. And for me, it was time to do something. I wanted to get back to this, to work with the teams on software, to be that guy that asks those dumb but difficult questions, that kind of try and do what I can to point people in a direction, and like we spoke earlier about, be someone that is an enabler for these teams to do the things that I believe they have in them. That's where I get my joy, and then be involved in
which I can completely understand. If I'm a team leader, that's the way you want to lead a team. Make your team members be the best they can be.
Software and seeing it in the hands of players, there's a gratification in that somehow. It just feels good, and the joy of watching a video of people playing your game online, and they're afraid, but yet they're laughing and screaming because they're having fun. That's the ultimate reward, to be honest.
That must feel so good. So incredibly good.
More so than anything else, more so than the monetary aspect of building video games, if you do it successfully, than anything, is just seeing that makes me smile and makes it worth all the work and effort that goes into something like this.
You must feel, because obviously it's tough out there at the moment, right?
Yeah.
You must have some element of responsibility. I'm interested. I wanted to get your thoughts on the state of the market. I mean, you've just seen EA get, well, it's not officially bought yet, but going for this $55 billion acquisition. I mean, I ask this to almost everyone I speak to, but what's your take on all that? How are you feeling about things? Because you're quite a big studio. You're not huge, but
no, I would say that we're a medium-sized. No, you have to think about it, right?
Yeah.
We are blessed with an owner in Nexon that is a relatively unknown company to people in the West. I mean, relatively, but they're not. But they're not a company whose games you normally would play, I would say, if you live in the West. But they're a massive player, obviously, in Asia. They take a very long-term view, always. They never, and I think they can do that because they have kind of games that are, to some extent, evergreen. They are games, they have live games that are online, that's constantly in the market. MapleStory, Dungeon & Fighter has been out there for 10 plus years, and they're still generating substantial revenue to the company, which, every single day, which allows for them to, anything new, to give the time it needs to support a studio like Embark in our vision, without having to conform to quarterly reports or a specific date. So
Nexon is also known for being kind of greedy. Back in the day, the great MMO days, they published a lot of MMOs that were just not, up to the task in the West. Completely fine in, Asia, because, pay to win and all, but that's why it wasn't that good in the West.
Never, ever had the pressure to ship something at a specific date. We've never had that feeling. It's more when the finals weren't, had its problems, they were like, okay, this was expected. Here's what you need to do. Think about it. Like, they were super supportive and just take your time, fix this, be patient. We were the impatient ones.
That's an actual wow moment. Literally, wow. Didn't expect that to happen.
Not them. So that is, for Embark, a blessing. And they're very hands-off. They let us do our thing. They believe in us, and incredibly supportive. So that with the fact that we were able to end up in that situation has been a blessing for Embark, and also created stability and security for us. So that's number one. Number two, the industry at large, I think this problem is to some extent self-inflicted. We started this during the pandemic, where we kind of got high on the idea that this will last forever. People will stay home and play video games forever.
Which is completely retarded to think like that. You have to be completely retarded to believe that. Of course that wouldn't have been the case. Why would it? Makes no sense.
And they won't go back to their normal lives. Guess what? Fortunately, the pandemic ended, and now people are back to doing what they did before. But we've hired an incredible amount of people in the industry, and now the industry isn't doing as well as it did during the pandemic.
No shit.
At the same time, you've had a substantial shift in what types of games function in the market and how they function. So I think it's a kind of a problem on two sides. So large game companies had to probably right size to some extent, and then you also saw, because when you have a boom like we had during the pandemic in the video game sector, a lot of capital gets put into that sector. So we saw a lot of venture capital and a lot of private equity capital come into the gaming market, and basically it made it possible for so many new studios to be formed. And a lot of these new studios, building a studio is very difficult. Building games is incredibly difficult. So for all of these studios to succeed,
And then you have, being money put into games like Concord. $400 million. What you could have done with all that money. It's so dumb.
Is unlikely. And then I think we're seeing that also manifest right now, where we're seeing capital is no longer as as attracted by the video game sector.
Sure.
There's there's no more capital, a lot more new capital flowing into it. So these smaller companies are going bankrupt.
The thing is, where would it go? The gaming market was already oversaturated before the pandemic. Just in case you didn't know, the market was oversaturated. It was, I think, 30,000 games per year coming out on Steam only. That's way too much. Way too much.
Same time, these big publishers are right-sizing their businesses from a post-pandemic era, together with the fact that there are market conditions where competition is steeper and people are hanging on to the games that they play more and more and more, because games like, companies like Epic and Microsoft with Minecraft and other companies are so good at servicing these games that they're more platforms than games themselves.
Yeah.
I think this is not an easy, it's not an easy problem, and it's not a problem that comes from one source. It's a problem that stems from multiple aspects, and that's where we are right now.
Yeah. Well, I do think the live service game sucking up all the hours, although that's often getting a lot of attention, a lot of conversation, because I think it's the thing we can control the most. I do always think there's always problems like that in the video game industry. Always, pre-owned was a challenge for so long, right? There's always something out there that was taking money, or in this case, time away from the business. But I do think those bigger issues, which is around the huge amount of investment and the capital and all that kind of stuff, is ultimately led us to this spot. But I mean, I'm really gone over time, Patrick. I appreciate you hanging on, but I was going to ask one final question, which is, I always ask them this question, which is, where do you hope Embark to be in 5 years? What's your goal for
working on the next big update for Arc Raiders, having at least one more game published that's doing well. I think that's what you will answer, mostly. Kind of in that, mindset.
Like I used to say, ask this question and go, "What's 10 years in the future?" But
who knows? In 10 years, we're all replaced by AI. Listen, I hope that we are seen. I don't envision Embark to being much bigger than it is today. That's not a goal for us at all, to be a ginormous studio. I hope that people can look at Embark and view it as a studio that are, where that stems from curiosity. We talk about being curious all the time. We want to look behind what's behind, like, the curtain. If we did this, what would that mean? That we're seen as a studio that is doing something positive for the industry, where our obvious goal is to try and treat the players that play our games with the deepest respect, to listen to them on a continuous basis, and try and adapt and improve the games as such. And individual comment is difficult for us to cater for, of course, but look at clusters of data and information, and if enough people are complaining about something, you ought to fix something. You got to do something about it, right? And that we're seen as kind of a pioneers in many aspects of new IP development, of how to build games in a different way. That's what I hope for us to be seen. I know that those are ambitious goals.
I said it earlier, basically the new Blizzard. It would be cool if they would become what Blizzard was in the past. It would be cool. Now, will it happen? I don't know. That would be cool.
But you have to be ambitious, and maybe we'll get halfway.
Well, we're certainly paying off so far in terms of getting attention from players and pleasing them. Well, thank you, Patrick. We're out of time. I've gone over time, but it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And I do best of luck with the launch of Outriders.
Thank you so much.
That's it for today's episode of the Game Business Show. There is no news show this week. We're taking a short break, but we'll be back with more interviews, news, and analysis next week. Until then, thank you for tuning in. What is one of the first things you do when you...
This was really good.
...get into the office?
I clean up my email.
Outside of the ones you've worked on, what do you think is the best shooter game of all time?
Half-Life.
Or...
Wait, what?
Do when you get into the office?
I clean up my email.
Outside of the ones you've worked on, what do you think is the best shooter game of all time?
Half-Life.
Or
Half-Life 2.
Or, yeah. If you could be the CEO of any other game...
That was a good answer of him. I didn't know that there was this extra content at the end. That's interesting.
Developer. Which would it be?
Probably From Software.
Oh. What book would you recommend to anyone looking to run their own company or set up their own studio?
To be honest, I don't read any of these management books. It's not a thing for me. I'm boring in the aspect that I read old books and sci-fi novels and stuff like that. I couldn't answer that question.
Okay. What is your favorite album of all time?
Probably Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder.
Oh, wow. It's a great one. What one thing do you wish you'd known before starting up Embark?
To be more patient and to trust the process. People here call me sometimes a pain in the, in there, but in maybe a good way. But sometimes I would benefit from being more patient.
Good interview. Good interview. Oh my god, I really like this. This was great. Okay. I make me a new tea, bring some trash away, and take a piss. And while I'm doing this, you can listen to some music. Yeah. Everything's set up. Oh boy. Yo, hello Key. I'm doing okay. And actually okay. It could be better, could be worse. You know what? Ooh. The $200 million NFT game collapse. We are watching that. Because why the fuck not? Break over. Stop the music. We are reacting. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This doesn't look good. Let's reload it. And hope it's... Oh no. Oh no. Maybe he deleted the video, I don't know. Or got copyright striked. Oh no. Wait. What did I just see? The ashes of... Oh. NFT. What's it, NFT? Yes. Okay.
Okay, what a friendos.
It worked. It worked. Let's do this. I stay here.
Welcome back. We're talking about NFTs today. NFTs, video gaming, specifically Ember Sword. There's been a lot of like misinformation and just incorrect reporting here about the Ember Sword thing. And what you...
By the way, NFTs completely died off. Completely. There are no new NFT games anywhere. And all that were there, they all flopped. Just with all the crypto games. Remember the times when, you know, Ubisoft was making a game with NFTs and crypto stuff? That never came out. Same for EA. I think EA also worked on something and never came out. Who could have guessed?
Should know his Ember Sword is, well, it was, as we're going to get to, a crypto NFT MMO. You know, this was never realistic. That's why I'm air quotes in.
Of course
this
not.
was never going to be a game. The game, in fact, as is usually the case, was being run on the idiots who thought that digital ownership, you know, buying land for thousands of dollars in a non-existing game was somehow going to then translate later on.
Earth 2. Same thing. Earth 2. Buy land here on this other Earth, that's a copy of real Earth, but it has nothing to do with it. Here you can buy it. Oh, no, I own the World Trade Center. No, you don't.
Into investment returns or the greatest game ever. You know, typically giving money for things before they exist in a game you don't even know is going to be good, especially in video game development where the best and most tenured teams in the industry can create absolute fucking stinkers. Companies like BioWare with decades of tenure, history, releasing good games under publishers like EA. You know, EA is what EA is, but we all know they have the money, the resources, the experience to release good games. Even they can spend millions, tens of millions of dollars just to send
hundreds of millions,
essentially shitting themselves to death in public with releases like the new Dragon Age game. This just can't.
Oh, that thing was bad. Remember the game BioWare did before that? I even forgotten what it was called. It was the one where you were in a mech suit thingy and you could fly around. That thing also completely flopped.
Happen. So Unknown Studio appears. We're going to make the best thing ever. It's going to include this technology that is yet to have actually been proven to be A, useful, B, wanted, C, viable technically going into these games. They show up, they say they're going to do this. Stupid people with more money than sense say, oh, Bitcoin went crazy and went up in value. What if I bought Bitcoin, 10 years ago? I'd be rich. Then they convince themselves somehow that they're savvy or whatever, and they're going to buy these things. And then obviously the thing doesn't do anything because the chances the game ever works out are incredibly small. And then even if the game was really good, the chances that people would want to play the game at the end or that money would keep flowing in to the end essentially means that the success rate, if you know anything about investing, technology, games, is close to zero. And this is what they found out. So in August of...
I've never heard of a crypto or NFT game that made any money from players, not investors, players.
Of 2021, Bright Star Studios launched the Ember Sword pledge system. Now, what you'll have seen recently is a bunch of people making videos or writing articles saying that the company received $203 million. This didn't happen. You can find it with a pretty quick Google search. Unfortunately, the word pledges does a lot of heavy lifting here. Basically, what happened was they said, we're going to sell NFTs to people, and these NFTs are going to be land in this video game that doesn't exist. And people said, oh yeah, I'll give you X dollars for a piece of this land in the future. I don't know why the fuck they did this. I'm guessing to try and hoodwink investors into being like, oh, look at how many people want to give us money. Why don't you give us money and you can own nothing just like they would.
But... You know what I just saw that was funny? Play to earn blockchain MMORPG. So far, the only people that can play games and earn money with it are esportler, streamers, and YouTubers. That's it. No one else makes money by playing games unless you live in Venezuela and farm gold in World of Warcraft or any other MMORPG and sell it to people. That's the only way. Those are the only ways. That's a way better sentence. Anyone else? No.
You'll probably own equity in our company, which will inevitably turn out to be worth nothing also. But essentially, 34,791 people in their community said, we will pledge X amount of dollars for land.
34,791 stupid people. And yes, that's all I'm going to say about this.
And it equaled, once you added all those pledges together, $203.7 million. But obviously, there wasn't $203 million raised. There wasn't $200 million worth of land sold. And while it's, incorrect reporting to say they raised $200 million, as a spin on this, 200 mil, if they did raise it, would have raised a bunch of questions like, where the fuck did this money go? But at the same time, it raises more questions when the money wasn't raised, such as...
The thing is, I think this number exists with the pledge for stupid people to fall for it and actually buy into it. I think that's what's going on. For stupid people to buy into it. That's why this exists. At least that's my theory here.
As if 35,000 people said, we'll give you this amount of money, and then when it came time to pony up that money, they said, nah, actually, and only $11 million was raised. That kind of goes to show that, one, investors would have had a real rough time with this, just like the public. Two, the demand for this was simply not there by the time they were ready to you know, shake people upside by their ankles and get the gold coins to fall out. And three, they all got fucked. Everybody in this got fucked other than the company. Now, they didn't raise $200 million, so they never had 200 mil to spend trying to develop the game. What they did raise, though, was still, as far as I can find, over $15 million. So,
oh, what I could do with that money. Oh, that was so good. I would actually create jobs with that. Which isn't hard.
Some private investment, some from the 11 million, obviously, that they raised from this land sale. But obviously, if you don't know what Ember Sword is, will be forgiven, because this is what it is.
This is Pokemon level quality. Well, actually, this looks better than the last Pokemon game. Oh god. The crypto scam looks better than the last Pokemon game. Oh no. Oh yeah, that's a standard UI. This is standard. It's all asset specs. Who could have guessed?
Now, this is just some random person that I searched up on YouTube and found. But this, while it doesn't look like the worst game ever, this looks like a prototype for a Kickstarter where it's one guy shitting in a bucket in his parents' basement saying, oh, I just need $5,000 to make this full-scale MMORPG using asset packs. And
yes, exactly. That's how this looks like, yes. This doesn't look good. If you look at this and you think, this looks great, you are a moron.
Look at what I've already done. I've already done so much. Look at all the asset packs I've strung together. And surely that means, because I did that and put it into a trailer, I'm then going to be able to make the best game ever. And we all know, if you followed my coverage of Kickstarter games or MMOs for years, we all know that this is complete bollocks. And just having an online world where people can log in and you've slapped some assets together doesn't mean you're going to then be able to make a full-scale MMO that people would want to play. Maybe you can build a world, maybe you can, like I said, slap some stuff together, maybe people can log in, but that's not a game. That's not a game people are going to play. But this is what Ember Sword turned out to be up until 4 months ago. Oh. This is recent gameplay of some...
That's recent gameplay. To be fair, there was basically no gameplay.
Something that, as far as I can tell, raised over $15 million. I think it's actually over 20. So you might...
Imagine that. That thing, $15 million. Superbonk, way less than that. And made way more money. So you could literally spend less money and make an actual good game and make more money.
I can tell, raised over $15 million. I think it's actually over 20. So you might ask the question, what went wrong with such a beautiful, amazing game, right? All the crypto bros were saying this was...
A funny thing, this art style, this art looks actually nice, but has nothing to do with the game. Which, just like back in the 90s. You had this super artwork on the box of the game, and then the graphics of the game looks nothing like that. But the thing is, you can make a game that looks just like that. And also this is Fortnite, Overwatch aesthetics. Which I'm not against. I like the aesthetics. I like the style. That's why I watch so many videos of it.
The question what went wrong with such a beautiful, amazing game, right? All the crypto bros were saying this was the future. You know, you're wrong, Kira. This is definitely going to work out. What do you know about gaming? What do you know about cryptocurrency? We are the Web3 mafia, and we're just going to pump money into things until it makes sense. And of course, we're sticking around for the future. Obviously, 7.8 million raised in 2021 and 2022, 11 million through the NFT land sale. Is this enough money to make a full-scale MMO? I don't know. Probably not.
Nah.
Is it enough money if you don't fuck around?
Well, that depends. If it's... You can make it if it's technically on a small scale.
And waste money enough to keep your studio going for more than 4 years, yeah, probably it probably is. But of course, with Ember Sword, they must have just blown money out of their ass doing what? Who knows?
Look at this. This must be the worth of the currency. $0, the 10 cents. It's not existing. It's not even worth half a cent. Maybe in Zimbabwe it would be $1 Zimbabwe or 2. But the cryptocurrency is worth nothing. The game looks like trash. Would you expect anything else? No, you wouldn't, unless you are dumb.
According to some articles I could find, there was a very troubled development. Who'd have known Crypto Bros not the best game developers? Where they spent a long time trying to figure out what engine they were going to use and just repeatedly trying engines out and things, which is a good thing to do with money that people gave you for a finished game, right? That's a really good way to spend people's hard-earned cash. Then again, somebody who was going to give you money for land in a video game that doesn't exist, knowing nothing about video games or clearly investing or what an investment is, they were probably going to lose that money on some shit coins or some fucking monkey JPEGs anyway. So really hard.
Or slot machines.
To hold that against them, to be fair. That being said, of course, as they were running out of money, as they were trying to desperately, you know, claw and grasp anything they could, they raised absolutely fucking nothing from launching a crypto token called Ember for the Ember Sword game. And this, as far as I can tell, reached like $100,000 market cap or something. Like, this is awful. This is really bad.
Yeah.
But of course, even from being down that badly, it's now down 99%. So anybody who put money into this,
that's massive. Also
down 99%, 99.2 actually. So congrats on that one.
Jesus.
So as you can see here, they officially launched early access in December of 2024. It didn't go well because, you know, if it did, maybe some of those people who pledged some of that $200 million would have said, yeah, we'll actually give you some of it. But obviously, as they found out,
I like this beat. Boring GameFi. Yeah.
As all these companies will eventually find out, just because somebody said at one point when you're not taking money off them, oh, I'll definitely give you money for this thing when this thing becomes available. If you've not shown that you are going to actually produce something that's going to be worth that money, even the crypto bros are going to pull out. Even the...
Read this. Read this. December is done, but holders and players get a second life airdrop in SOWB, the fastest growing MMORPG on base. Chat. Full details in a Clash of Coins account. Checker here. Wow. People are retarded.
Crypto bros are not going to give you the money, which is crazy because they'll buy almost fucking anything at this stage. And of course, they eventually went and posted on their website, the Ember Sword website, which doesn't fucking load. They must be seeing tons of traffic for all those players that they certainly had. I'll just read it off of a Google image because their website just doesn't fucking load. So they say this is one of the hardest announcements we've ever had to make. By the way, they've taken like $20 million or something from people, from investors, from people like Dr. Disrespect, lol, deserved, but from the public, of course, as well. And they're saying this is one of the hardest announcements they've ever had to make. What? You've taken everyone's money. None of it's left. You're not refunding anyone. The game's gone. everyone's been fucked. You're saying it's one of the hardest.
Yeah, what were the other announcements? What was that? Now that would be interesting, wouldn't it be?
What other things have you announced? That's a crazy thing to say. So back in December, we shared how we were fighting to keep Ember Sword moving forward despite the challenges. Many of you have been patiently waiting for an update, and while this isn't the news we hope to deliver, it's important we share now. Well, yeah, you're out of money. Like, you pulled the plug. And by the way, I have it on good authority that a large percent of the people working at this studio were laid off months before the playtest ever happened, months before the actual game was in the early access period.
Who is surprised by this? No one. No one is surprised. Unless you are stupid. If you hear this and you're surprised, you're stupid. Why would you expect things like that? Well, maybe even if you didn't expect things like that, if you hear it, doesn't it just make sense? Because it's cryptocurrency and NFTs. Of course, things like that happen. Yeah. Because they always happen.
So the money was gone long ago. Where did it go? I don't know. How can you spend 20 million in 4 years making an indie game that looks like something a couple of people shitting in a bucket in a basement could make using purely asset packs? I don't know. I don't know where this...
On one weekend?
Money's gone. It's weird. There was, as far as I'm aware, no equity, no shares, no nothing given over to people involved in the game. There's a whole bunch of testimony you can go and read online where people who worked at this company are saying we didn't earn anything other than our salaries, which weren't crazy salaries, which you can sometimes see in cryptocurrency games. So where this money went, I simply do not know. It would be interesting to see some kind of accounting for this.
To a bank in Switzerland, I guess.
And since cryptocurrency is apparently no longer being looked into for fraud and things in the United States, not that I'm saying that there was fraud here, I just simply don't think we're going to ever get any clarity on where the money really went unless somebody as an insider that has access to these records reaches out to somebody, which I don't think we'll see. So our passion for MMOs runs deep. That's why we tried to fucking make an absolute abomination, make some kind of fucking homunculus. We've spent our lives playing, building, and dreaming about worlds where strangers become friends, where effort and skill are rewarded, and where stories come alive through shared experiences, and where you can...
This sounds like it was written by ChatGPT. Well, it most likely was.
And spend thousands of dollars to get an advantage and a leg up before the game's even made. And then if the game fails, you lose all your money. And if it doesn't, you fucking clown on the pause. Yeah. And you rent them out parts of your land so they can experience renting in real life, but in a video game, being the peon in real life and also being the peon in the video game. We also believe still deeply that blockchain technology has the potential to reshape these worlds for the better. Lol, prove it. To give players real ownership.
There's zero evidence that it does anything positive to anything. I've never seen anything that got better with the inclusion of NFTs or cryptocurrency. I haven't seen anything.
Agency and value for their time. Yeah, of course. Paying thousands of dollars for something in a video game is real valuable. You're valuing your time there. When we started, it was about proving that great game design on the blockchain could work. You fucking failed then, didn't you? Yeah. You failed big time because you proved nothing. You proved... in fact, the one thing you did prove is everyone right. Not you. You didn't prove fuck all about what you can do. But it could work and could feel fun and fair and rewarding. Thanks to the incredible team here and your support, we got further than many would have thought we could. No, you didn't. You got exactly where everyone thought you could, which is to take money from idiots and then do fucking nothing. And thanks to the incredible team that we laid off and wasted money to the point where you no longer have a job. Congrats. Thanks, guys. We're going to show our gratitude to you by firing you. Here you go. Gratitude. Despite strong early support, promising early access player stats, no. And a passionate community, we were... is it a community? It's just a bunch of fucking people rubbing their hands together like rats. Right? Like, that's what the community is here. There will, of course, be some people that are an exception to this rule. But by and large, somebody who's buying land in a crypto game before the game exists are people who are looking to simply make a dollar. They don't care about you. This has been proven time and time again. They are rats. They will scurry away as soon as they see the exterminator. They'll run away and hide in their holes, and the minute that they can, they will eat the young. Like, they will literally they will dump on their mothers if they could, as long as they could get out with, you know, a percentage profit. They all admit it eventually. Like, if they make the money, they'll, lol, I don't care. Like, I made the money, lol. Like, this is what they do. So I'm sure there were some people in the community that were passionate, but most of them were passionate about money, not the video game.
Like, all the time. No actual gamer cares about NFTs and cryptocurrency. No one. And every gamer that looked at any of these games knew they were just shit. And that's why no actual gamer ever went to them.
Facts. We were ultimately unable to secure the funding needed to continue. Shocker. We explored every possible way forward, apart from making a good game. But in today's market, where even some of the most promising projects are shutting down, we couldn't find a path to keep building. You know why this is? Because none of these promising products or projects rather, in the cryptocurrency market have done anything. Not a single, it's been 5 years, guys. It's been 5 years. There's been more money raised for these things in the last 5 years than any normal game other than Star Citizen. You know, we always have to throw that caveat in there. As in overall industry, money stopped coming in anyway. VCs are not putting money into normal games. People are not putting money, by and large, into crypto games. VCs are definitely not putting money into crypto games. But you've had 5 years where some of these projects have raised hundreds of millions of dollars. And you know where we are? Not a singular one is even remotely successful. Not in crypto terms, and certainly not in normal video game terms.
Told you. And if you think I'm wrong, just comment one game that is successful.
None of these things substantially exist in any way that would convince anybody to play them over what is available from a normal video game publisher. Like, you failed wholeheartedly. Like, all the best will in the world give you the opportunity to, give you enough rope to hang yourself with, give you enough gold coins to fucking swim in like Scrooge McDuck. You've all failed to provide any value to the space or prove that anything you could do is valuable to anybody other than yourself. You all paid yourself salaries, probably really good salaries for years, at the higher end of these companies, making nothing for nobody apart from yourselves. That's a fact. So yeah, some of the most promising projects are shutting down in real gaming, but in cryptocurrency, none of them were promising. Ever.
Exactly.
Full stop. Find me one. Link it to me. Crypto Bros. Send me an email. Oh, this one's the future Kira. Corn Fam. Fucking whoever. These people that have been saying for years. Oh, you're wrong. This is the one. Prove it. Show me one. Show me successful metrics of any. Other than taking candy from a baby. You are the baby in this analogy. We couldn't find a path to keep building. Our journeys in the servers will go offline. As part of this, Discord channels will also be closed to avoid confusion or scams. Let me clarify here.
That's so funny because they are the scam.
They're not closing any of this to avoid confusion or scams. There's no confusion. They're closing this so people can't speak to each other and use whatever was said within a Discord server for years of history in case any kind of like civil litigation or anything goes on, or any kind of law enforcement were to come sniffing around, if that was the case.
Yeah, they don't want to be thrown into prison or being held liable in a civil court and then have to pay money back.
This is a liability issue, not a, oh, we're doing this for you guys, because they've also closed other social media, stopped posting on social media and things like that. If you were truly for the community, you'd leave the community up so people could speak to each other, friends that they found or whatever, but you didn't. You've closed it, and it's not for the reasons you say. At least I don't believe so. This isn't the ending any of us wanted. Maybe none of you, but you know. We want to sincerely thank you for being here, for believing in this vision, and for helping make Ember Sword something we'll never forget. Yeah, all the people involved will never forget either, because they're the ones that could have spent that money on something else, but instead you took.
They will never forget. The people that gave the money will never forget, but everyone else will forget. I mean, I didn't even know this existed until I started watching the video. Hello, StreamHub world.
Money. You've spent it on whatever you've spent it on, paying your salary, and you've provided them with fucking nothing. So that's Ember Sword, you know. They didn't raise $200 million, but they did raise enough, you know. They raised more than most indie projects will ever. They raised more than enough to deliver a viable product, for at least a minimum viable product that would show some kind of promise. But they couldn't, because it was never about that. It was about the cryptocurrency. It was about selling people things. And sincerely, if you look at what they did, asset packs, a small online world, I have to question where the money went. Like, how much did you waste?
Into the pockets of the organizers, of course.
How much were some of the people being paid? Because if that's what, you know, 4 years of development and tens of millions of dollars creates, you're either the most incompetent motherfuckers ever, or something else. You know, I don't think we'll ever find out, but that's something else is doing a bit of heavy lifting for, you know, some words we could otherwise use. So that's episode, I guess. Thanks for watching. If you want to see content, maybe this will be an interesting deep dive later if, you know, I get some additional information from insiders or whatever. Maybe there'll be a video about this that could be a little bit more well written and look at some things in a little bit more depth or nuance. I don't think there's too much nuance here, to be fair. But whatever you want to see me cover, let me know. Leave a comment, send me an email, Twitter, Discord, Twitch, Kick, all those things. Might be live later. Come check it out. Check out Gamer Sups. Fantastic. Look at these amazing pajamas that I'm wearing. I did spill coffee all over myself. I've got a stain on my wife beater. Really comfortable merch that they sell. Great drinks that they sell. All the bullshit's cut out. It's just vitamins, caffeine, or you can even get uncaffeinated if you just want to drink some flavored water with vitamins in. Use my code. You get a 10% discount, I believe. I think it's 10. And check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Good video. Good video. Very, very sadly. Ow. I'm sitting here with a migraine getting worse and worse. Man. Game dev angry about game reviews?
So we have Mike Rose on Blue Sky. We had an overwhelmingly positive score on Steam, and then these 2 reviews rolled in. Why does Valve allow this? So there we go. Woke game also has Muslims not recommended. Too much forced politics. It literally only took me 15 minutes to get force-fed DEI nonsense. I love the art and music, though. I wish more people would use isometric pixel art. So this guy got butt frustrated because he got 2 bad reviews on his shitty video game, and then after that, now he wants the entire website to change. So this is it. So we have my.
I bet that's the type of guy that literally wants to plow his mother.
We set off.
Why
so
did
we
I
have
even
Mike
scroll down?
Rose on Blue Sky.
Please let me leave. Yeah. No. Yeah. My migraine is getting worse and worse. I will call it a day for today. Gonna stream tomorrow again. I guess I will do some more reacts tomorrow. And playing some Arc Raiders, I guess. But we will see. You know, today is not going to be a good day for me. After I end the stream, I will cook something I have planned out for today, and then, I don't know, lay down after I have eaten or whatever. Man, I'm so done. Yeah, having migraine is really bad. I wouldn't mind if I only had a headache, but it's a little migraine. And I also wouldn't mind if I could just, you know, turn off the webcam and do stuff, but that would be That would be bad. And I can't turn off the light because then the green screen is not working properly. And oh, yes, I'm whiny. I'm whiny because I'm in pain. So, if you like today's stream, consider following, subscribing, liking it, and you can even leave a comment. All dependent on the platform you are on. You know, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Rumble. Oh, yeah. See you tomorrow. Or maybe, if I feel better later, I might stream Arc Raiders. I absolutely plan on playing it today a little bit. So I might stream it if my headache is... My migraine is not that bad anymore. Jesus. I can't even talk properly anymore. Yeah, I have to go. I have to go. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Have a good one. Good morning, day, evening, night. Whatever it is. Bye bye.